Yo, and what is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV. Tonight, we all know watching Monday Night Raw is a literal horror show for the most part, week after week. But the knuckleheads in creative decided to one-up that and ended tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw with a horror segment for the Alexa's Playground confrontation with Shayna Baszler, which turned out to be more horrible than horrifying. And we are going to talk about all of that and so much more right here and right now. My name is Nick Nightmare. You are watching the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's Monday Night Raw review and reaction show. Let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
So all the oogity boogity hocus pocus Alexa is the new fiend nonsense aside, tonight was your stereotypical episode of your standard terrible episode of Monday Night Raw. Shall we go down the checklist? Let's go down the checklist, shall we? Okay, we have rematches, necessity for Monday Night Raw, check. Bad comedy, littered throughout every single episode, doesn't make you laugh at all, just makes you cringe to the bone. Bad comedy, check. Multiple matchups on the same night with the same type of screwy or controversial kind of finish. Check, we had that tonight for sure. Oh, it's Monday, we must see a champion have their shoulders pinned to the mat. Do we have that on the checklist? Survey says bing! Yes, champion was pinned tonight. Up, ookie bookie, everybody gets scared. Alexa's coming to the playground. We have to have a spooky segment featuring a little doll that's going to not be worth anybody's time. Do we got that? Yes, we got that. Let's hit the check mark right there. Obligatory screen time for Charlotte Flair, The Miz, and Johnny Dripstick's big giant water squirting dipstick. Check, of course, we can't have, God forbid, we have a Monday Night Raw with that. We got to check that one down, so we do that. Oh, okay, what's next on the list? Backstage, time-wasting, terribly scripted promos and skits. Can't have a Monday Night Raw without all of that cringe TV. And, of course, the creme de la creme. We got a big title match coming. How are we going to book that? It's Monday. It's Raw. So, of course, we have a very lame contract signing to book the Hell in a Cell World Championship match. Do we got that? Oh, you're damn right we do, Steve Harvey. Ding, ding, ding. Survey says you got it. That's the checklist. So as we come down to the end, survey says, I've been watching a lot of the Family Feud, as you probably could imagine. This show sucked. This show sucked. This was a stereotypical Monday Night Raw that you just wanted to do that to the script. Thanks, Vince and clowns. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Vince.
For this terrible, terrible episode. I'm used to it. You guys should be used to it as well by now. Thank you for joining me. We are about to bring the hammer down on what is absolutely a very poop hammer-worthy show. When the two coolest things I could think about happening on this show were two very small, very fast backstage segments, then you know we're in for a long night. Monday Night Raw started tonight in a very bad way because we started with the focus being on the tag team division. We had all the tag teams standing in the ring. And right off the bat, something looked a little bit off to me, but thankfully, the WWE wanted to waste a whole lot of airtime. They sent out AJ and Omos, the Raw Tag Team Champions, to start jibber-jabbing, and AJ was just talking for so long and just really said nothing. He was trying to run everybody down, each team individually, essentially just saying he wants to face the best that the tag team division has to offer. And I'm sitting back going, AJ, don't you know the tag team division that you're in? What are you talking about? Best of the best. There is no best of the best. You're looking at the 5 teams in the ring. How could it possibly be any worse? And then enter The Miz. The Miz, who is still not showing any signs of being infected by the T-virus and has not any sort of zombification going on, but he is legitimately injured, so he gets rolled out there by John Morrison in a wheelchair, and Miz makes his proclamation that John Morrison is going to insert himself in this match so that the Miz and Morrison can also have a shot at the tag team championship. You might be thinking to yourself, well, they can't do that. This is a tag team battle royal and you need to have the tag teams in it, right? But Gran Metalik is standing in. Oh, I'm sorry. Gran Metalik is injured. And Lindsay Dorado, the other half of the Loser House Party, is standing in the ring to represent his team. One sole man going out for the tag team championship. So now I guess since one stupid team can do it, might as well let another stupid team do it. And let's have this battle royal underway. In this battle royal, you had the Viking Raider, Warrior Raider, Raiders. You had RK Bro. You had Mace and Teabags. And you know, most of them are not worth a damn. You know what? None of these teams are really worth anything. RK Bro just started. And I know a lot of you guys are into it, but I really hate the Matt Riddle cringe comedy. It irks at my bones. And I feel like when I'm looking at Randy Orton and his reaction, that's me. That's me watching Matt Riddle. And I don't find it funny, the whole key locking thing. This is the fucking grown-ass man. Randy Orton shutting him up with an imaginary fucking key. Like, well, come on. Come on. So Randy Orton is like his dad. And I just don't like this fucking dynamic. And I understand it can be entertaining, but it's not for me. It's not for me. So I'm not behind it. But I kind of expected them to win this match, but the WWE actually did a smart thing. And they're holding that off. Probably for when the fans come back into attendance, maybe even holding it off for SummerSlam, which means that AJ and Omos are probably going to be the tag team champions until SummerSlam, when they could lose it to the team of RK Bro, who definitely have some more mending as a team to do. So the time might be well spent, but it's just not my cup of tea. And I'm not going to enjoy it. If you do, more power to you. Great. You'll probably enjoy the run. As of right now, I could care less. And in the tag team division, who's going to get it? At the very least, we could be excited that it's not the New Day. Although the New Day is still somewhat involved with RK Bro. I know they keep shuffling it around. 1 week, Kofi Kingston's going for the world title. Now they're going back against RK Bro. Meanwhile, they were feuding against RK Bro the whole time. And the New Day's just all over the fucking place. That happened again tonight as well. And they ended this thing in somewhat controversial fashion, and Randy Orton got eliminated by the Viking Raider, Warrior Raider, Raiders, and they win the opportunity to become the number one contenders and take on the champions at a later date. I don't know if it's going to be at Hell in a Cell. I don't know if it's going to be on a future episode of Monday Night Raw. But do you want to know how much I care? Zero. This was a waste of time. This whole entire segment, from the start of Monday Night Raw to the end of the tag team match to the end of the very cringy back and forth between AJ and Omos and the Viking Raiders post-match, went almost like 38 minutes. It took up a whole majority of the first hour, and it, aside from some minor spots in the tag team battle royal, it was just a battle royal, and those aren't like the best things ever. And yes, they made the right call by giving it to the Viking Raiders. Fine. And holding off RK Bro's chance for a bigger pay-per-view. But did you care? No, I didn't either. You know what else I didn't care about? Anything that had to do with Charlotte Flair, which comes to no surprise to longtime fans of this channel. Many of you feel the exact same way. In fact, tonight we got the standard, one thing I forgot to put on the checklist, which we should check off, is the Can They Coexist storyline, which is almost sole property of the women's division. Every time there's a women's champion and she has a challenger, we need to find out if she can coexist with said challenger, even though we already know that they can't. However, this teaming of Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley tonight in the Can They Coexist storyline did produce my favorite GIF of all time. Let's take a look, shall we? Come on, look at this. This is the perfect visual representation of what it feels like for a wrestling fan to watch Monday Night Raw. Now, obviously, Rhea Ripley is Monday Night Raw in this example, and we are Charlotte Flair. So we don't like this example because we don't want to be Charlotte Flair. So what else is this a great example for? This is an example of how the fans feel about the booking of Charlotte Flair. But once again, we are Charlotte Flair in this case, being abused by the booking team, who is Rhea Ripley, who keep hammering us over the head with the Charlotte Flair is the best woman wrestler in the whole entire world agenda that we're all just so sick and tired of. But this is it. Isn't this what you feel like when you watch Monday Night Raw, especially when you're watching the women's division? It just feels like a constant battering in the head from something stupid. Now, we're not calling Rhea Ripley something stupid in this example, although, if the shoe fits, because we don't know anything about the character, she's very, very just there. She just exists. There's nothing special to her. She looks like Charlotte Flair's goth little sister, and I just don't dig her vibe. They ruined this character. She was great in NXT, and now they just turned her into like a Ruby Riott wannabe. I don't know. I don't dig it, but I do dig this gif. I could watch this all day. When I seen this pop up on the Twitter feed, I was friggin' hysterical, and I was overjoyed, and I had to share this with you. The one thing out of everything they did with the women tonight that I actually enjoyed was this. This is fucking fantastic. Great job, Rhea Ripley. Thank you for this. You can go away now. Let's get back to the review, which, it doesn't get any better from here. It only gets worse. We got Jackson Riker showing up on this show in a match with Elias. Elias, of course, has to start out in the ring with his guitar, telling us all that he turned on Jackson Riker because he needs somebody to be by his side, and Jackson Riker was not willing to go to battle for him. Stupid writing. Way too long he took to get to his point. All for Jackson Riker to pop up behind Elias. He got a new haircut. He trimmed the beard down. He don't look like something out of Duck Dynasty anymore. He don't look like one of the Sons of Anarchy. He just looks like everybody else. He doesn't look special. He doesn't look unique. He just looks like a guy, and he's out there beating up Elias, and Elias decided to run away after about 3 minutes of getting his butt kicked and get counted out. The first of 2 countouts we will see on this night. This one not nearly as damaging as the other one that we will be talking about. But this obviously is not the end. And the weirdest thing about this is that the piped in audio, which is directed by Vince and his cronies in the back, have the audience cheering for Jackson Riker. And I don't know how that's going to go over when the live crowd is there. Jackson Riker has done nothing to earn a babyface turn. There's not a redeeming quality about him. He's done nothing. All he did was stand up to Elias and say, "Oh, I know about war. I know about battles, brother." And now they break up and we're supposed to like him? Why, just because he was a soldier? Is that what you're going to do? I respect him for his service, and I thank him for his service, but I don't like his character. I don't know what it's about. It's another thing that we have to wait and see how it develops, but I'm not interested. This is the guy that got his buddies fired. He got their gimmick ruined. He made the controversial comments, and he's the one on TV getting the push, and the other 2 guys are on the unemployment line. One of them, I think, just showed up in Impact Wrestling. I'm not into it. And the fact that he's playing off of Elias makes it even more unbearable, because I'm just so tired of seeing Elias. Here's a guy that burst onto the scene a couple of years back, and when he did, I was all in. I thought he was going to be great. And much like some of the other talent, most of the other talent I had high hopes for, it just spirals down the tubes week after week. I was hopeful when he got injured that his return would spring something new and bring some new life into the character, but instead it's just the same old song and dance. No pun intended. We get to the second hour and they decide, hey, let's do the WWE Championship contract signing. And man, was this boring as fuck. Bobby Lashley came out with his ladies, because, we can't have Lashley without the ladies anymore. He's just that fun-loving, I want to have a good time champion now. He was the baddest person on the roster. He was a vicious, almighty monster, and now he just wants to get some pussy. I mean, is that what being the champ's all about? I know it's one of the perks of being a champ, but I mean, come on. This is the best you got to write for this guy. Now he's sitting there opposite Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, he's just, it's hard to explain because I like Drew McIntyre. I loved Drew McIntyre in NXT. His NXT championship reign I thought was fantastic. His matches with Andrade and everybody he was working with down there was great. And I was a fan of Drew McIntyre leading into his whole defeat of the Beast Brock Lesnar into WrestleMania. But the one thing I've never been a fan of are these scripted Drew McIntyre babyface promos. At one point, he's in there talking about a little spider and a spider that's making a web and some shit. And I'm sitting here thinking, does he realize that he's supposed to be hyping up a championship match, or is he telling us about Charlotte's Web? Did he maybe just read that book? And now he's got this story in his mind, so he's telling us about a spider who's struggling to build a web or some shit. I don't even remember. All I know is I tuned the fuck out because I just don't care. I don't care. MVP, of course, did most of the talking. They keep playing on this. McIntyre manipulated his way to this championship when he earned his way. We didn't want him to be the one to earn his way, but he earned his way in. He didn't manipulate his way in. Anyway, this was just a long and drawn-out way to get to the fact that Lashley versus McIntyre will be a Hell in a Cell match. It is the first officially booked match that's going to happen inside the cage at the pay-per-view. Drew wants no interference. He wants no excuses. He didn't want anyone losing the match for him. So Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce added the stipulations to the contract. Drew signed. And then it just was more cringy back and forth. Drew was like, I'll see you in the Hell in a Cell. And Bobby was like, yeah, and I'll beat you there too. And then it was over. And that was it. And that was it. It was so boring. So boring. It was hard to get through. And I had absolutely zero interest. Then we had an interview with Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross is going to challenge Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, and she's going to be able to pick a partner of her choice. Now, this opens up a world of possibilities in my head. I'm thinking maybe this is where Alexa comes in with the whole Lily deal, or I'm thinking maybe they pass Naomi over to Nikki in this case, being how she just lost her partner in Lana with the firings last week. Or maybe somebody else, some new surprise call up from NXT, something interesting. But no, they just went with Asuka. Because, if Charlotte's in the ring, we have to have Asuka in the ring as well. So they paired Asuka with Nikki Cross. And the thing that just throws me off with this whole thing, not only is the fact that I watched these two girls just beat the ever-loving shit out of each other in NXT just a couple of years ago. Remember that last woman standing match with Nikki Cross and Asuka in NXT? That was some great shit. Great shit. And now they're partners, which I could, I'd have to forgive because it's something that WWE does. They don't really care about things like that. But the problem is that this Nikki Cross is not that Nikki Cross. Like, that Nikki Cross was a completely unhinged, lunatic psychopath, like your craziest ex-girlfriend times 1,000. And she liked to kick your ass. And now she's just like, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm just lucky to be around. And then WWE's writing her to say stupid shit like, oh, well, I'm not the toughest, and I'm not the prettiest. And I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about? It's like, I don't have the most experience. What are you talking about? I just prefaced this whole little rant by telling you that she was in one of the best NXT women's matches that there has been. But she's not experienced. She's not pretty enough. Hey, listen, she might not be everybody's cup of tea, but Nikki Cross is easy on the eyes. She is not an ugly woman. Not by a long shot. So who the fuck is writing this for her? This goes back to what we were talking about with Bianca Belair just on Friday. They got her out there dissing herself, talking about what people say about her. Oh, they say I have a mannish body. Why is that necessary to bring up? You're the women's champion. And then at this token, even with Nikki Cross, why are you talking about shit like that? Why are you talking down about yourself? That's not what a wrestler does. Do you know how many of the ugliest fucking people of all time I've had to stand or sit and watch stand in front of a camera and profess to be the most beautiful person in the world or something like that? What about Adrian Adonis? Remember him? He's walking around, I'm the most beautiful man in the world. Meanwhile, he's like 400 pounds. He's got his makeup applied on like a clown. He's wearing tissue paper and he just looked fucking horrible, right? I'm not the prettiest. What? Why are you making her say that? The fuck is wrong with you? Nikki Cross deserves better than everything that they did for her here tonight. You know who else deserves better? Sheamus. Sheamus showed up tonight. His face is fucked up thanks to that elbow from Dr. Dimples last week that broke his Irish nose in twain. So, unfortunately, I guess he's not allowed to use hair gel. Sheamus had his hair down. He had the clear facial mask on. Maybe the doctor said, listen, if you put the hair gel on, it's going to fuck up your nose. So make sure you don't do your hair in the way you normally do your hair. Anyway, that's just, I digress. So Sheamus is sitting there, and he's got to watch two clowns. Two cruiserweight guys. Two 205 live-sized guys that the WWE don't give a shit about, haven't pushed worth a damn. These two men, Dr. Dimples Humberto Carrillo and Mr. Skinny Jeans himself, Ricochet, these are both men that Sheamus has beaten twice each, cleanly. And then last week, they took turns beating Sheamus by cheating, which is, you know, what babyfaces do, causing distractions in each other's matches, respectively, to gain the win over the United States champion. And now the WWE books a match between Ricochet and Humberto to decide who's the number one contender. Two losers who beat the champ by cheating being booked in a number one contenders match. Now, I don't mind so much cheating to beat Sheamus last week, although beating a champion twice in one night is just way too much for my brain to handle. It's not that I mind them winning as much as I'm saying I don't mind the disqualification aspect of the win, but I just can't stand the fact that he's beaten both of these guys twice cleanly already. He shouldn't be facing either of them again for a long time. There are plenty of other people that should be in this place. Where the fuck is Damian Priest? Oh, they had no stupid Hollywood angle to shoot. They had no ridiculous thing planned for tonight's show that they could have stuck him in. There's no Bad Bunny around. There's no hip-hop act. There's no Hollywood thing to do. So, nah, we got nothing for Damian Priest. We built him up and built him up and built him up, and now he can sit on the side and watch all this useless shit that we're going to do, like Ricochet versus Humberto Carrillo, which ends in a double countout. The second countout on the night that I told you guys we would get to, and why this is more detrimental than the first is because this was to crown a number one contender. As we said, two guys who have lost already went out there to prove who the better man was, and they both lost to each other. There was no winner. And Sheamus is sitting there talking about how neither one of these guys deserve this opportunity and neither one of them are worthy. And while I'm watching this match, I already agreed with him. I'm like, you're right, just based off of the fact that you beat them already. And then they both failed to win, which is what? Is it going to lead to a triple threat? Why would that happen? They lost. It wasn't like a double controversial pin. No, neither one of them could get back in the ring. Neither one of them had the intestinal fortitude or the want enough for the United States Championship to get back in the ring after Ricochet executed a Spanish fly from the edge to the concrete floor. And Sheamus stood there watching. And then he got up and was like, you see, these guys are fucking worthless. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Where do we go from here? Somebody give Damian Priest a call and ask him if he wants to fight the fucking champ. Make him come in, kick Ricochet's fucking head off, kick Humberto's dimples back to Mexico, and then go after the champ. Fortunately, there was one thing on this night that I thought was really good. Actually, one of two things, and they came pretty rapidly, one after the other. We had MVP backstage. He approached Kofi Kingston, which I felt was kind of weird at first, and then it just like took on a life all its own. I wasn't expecting MVP to kind of be dangling the carrot, so to speak, and trying to somewhat coax Kofi Kingston to come and join MVP. Now, this would lead to believe maybe he's trying to reopen a new version of the Hurt Business, or maybe he's trying to do something different altogether. It's a little confusing because of the way he was talking to Kofi, but I love that it was rooted in reality. And he says he's always wanted to talk to Kofi. Xavier Woods went away and allowed Kofi his personal conversation here. He said that when he saw Kofi win the WWE Championship with his sons in the ring and watching it with Chad Gaspard was everything to him. It inspired him to return to the WWE. He said Kofi Mania was real and it was everything, but then all of a sudden it ended. And that's because he wasn't Bobby Lashley. Controversial stuff there. Then he said that Kofi Mania went away because he let it went away, meaning that Kofi almost doesn't believe in his own hype anymore. He said, the way he said it made me believe that he was trying to recruit him. It was really interesting. But then Kofi Kingston does what a true babyface should do. He told him he should watch his mouth. He said he doesn't want or need his advice. He says his family and friends are the only motivation that he needs to do what it is he does here. And says Bobby Lashley only does this for the money. Then MVP says, no, Bobby Lashley does this for the WWE Championship, for the honor and the prestige and the accoutrements that it comes with. And then MVP left. Maybe planting a seed in Kofi Kingston's head. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, the possibility of MVP drafting Kofi. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. We had an Eva Marie sighting, but not really. It was just another vignette, and she told everyone that she's coming back to Raw next week. So next week's episode has already got one thumb down. Before we're 7 days full away. This show wasn't even over yet. I already hate next week's show, just based off of this alone. Then they announced that Kofi Kingston was going to face Matt Riddle later tonight. I'm still trying to figure out why. They were already in the opening match in that battle royal between all the tag team champions. I don't understand it. I don't know why this match was booked. But fortunately for us, although it was a rematch, it ended up being probably the best match on the night. Backstage, we seen Mansoor warming up, and he was approached once again by Mustafa Ali. We talked about this last week, how I am already all in on whatever it is they're deciding to do with these two guys. If they're going to team them up and give us a tag team, if they're going to tease a team up only for them to end up being a feud against one another, I think this is great, and I like it. I like how Ali is presenting himself almost in a managerial type of role, but offering some advice to the young Mansoor as he was going out there tonight to face Drew Gulak. But it can go either way. It could either go to them being a team or to them beating the shit out of each other. Like I said, either way, I'm fine with it. We had Cedric Alexander come out here tonight. He had a match with Jeff Hardy. Here's something where the WWE just fucks things up in such a stupid way. They have Jeff Hardy come out first, so they show Jeff Hardy's pre-match promo. He said the locker room used to be a place filled with respect, but now it's filled like with inflated egos like the one on Cedric Alexander. He wanted to teach Cedric a lesson in humility and respect, and he's going to extremely learn that respect is earned, right? So now they showed you this, telling us that, oh, Cedric Alexander had some disparaging remarks for Jeff Hardy today. And then they showed Jeff Hardy's rebuttal before they showed us what Cedric said. And essentially, he said what all the kids say about the veterans. We need a breath of fresh air. He's going to wipe the floor with the former legend, and yada, yada, yada. And this was a fairly quick match. It went maybe about 5 minutes, and then Jeff Hardy won. And this is the problem. See, this is the problem with the WWE. Jeff Hardy hasn't been on TV in weeks. Last time we seen him on TV, he lost to Jinder fucking Mahal, who still has not resurfaced since then. I'm not complaining about it, just pointing out the facts. So now Jeff Hardy's value is 0. So to have Jeff Hardy show up tonight and lose to Cedric Alexander, they think means nothing. Meanwhile, at the end of the day, if he won tonight, he would be beating Jeff Hardy, who is a fucking legend in this business. Not a guy that needs to be reestablished. Not a guy that needs to get a few more wins under his belt. So why is Jeff Hardy the one winning this match tonight? Jeff Hardy defeated Cedric Alexander with a twist of fate, ending all of the momentum that they have given this kid in the last 2 weeks. They made him squash Shelton Benjamin last week. He beat Shelton Benjamin the week before after losing to Shelton Benjamin. So they started putting him on an upward trajectory, and then they make him lose to Jeff Hardy, who's 2 times his age. And here's a little side note. Remember when we used to watch Jeff Hardy back in the 90s, you guys in my age group, when they were just starting in the late 90s and they were Team Extreme and they were doing their thing, and Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy both looked like 2 of the littlest guys on the roster, like height-wise, like against the regular wrestler, or even a guy like a Shawn Michaels. They just always looked short or small, especially infamously in their matches with Razor Ramon. They looked like such tiny individuals. And then you look tonight, and there's Jeff Hardy, who couldn't have grown since, his time in the 2000s. In fact, you're supposed to shrink as you get older, right? But he's like towering over Cedric Alexander. How small is Cedric? If he's smaller than one of the smallest guys that there's been on the WWE roster. Now, I know Jeff Hardy might be 6-something, whatever, but I'm talking perception. When you're looking on screen, they always looked like small guys to me. But now you got these other guys that are even smaller than the guys that were the small guys when we were watching back in the day. Which is one of my problems with AEW as well. But that's another story for another day. We had Charlotte and Rhea Ripley once again in the back. And if we're going to talk about them, I want to see my GIF. So I'm going to put this back up. Hopefully this don't copyright strike anything. It's just a fucking GIF, YouTube. Calm down. Take it easy. Anyway, so Charlotte approached Rhea Ripley in the back and was like, well, I'm Charlotte Flair. You should follow my lead. And then Rhea Ripley was like, hello, dummy. Ding dong, hello. Steal a little something from Bailey there. I'm the champ. I outrank you. Why don't you follow my lead? Because can they coexist? What does this picture tell you? Would you be surprised to know that they didn't? Of course you wouldn't. Nikki Cross and Asuka defeated the Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. And it's all because, of course, they couldn't get along. Before this match ended, they ended up coming to blows with each other. This was the longest match of the night. And if that doesn't show you just how much they favor Charlotte Flair, no matter what segment or who she's with, then nothing else does. This was longer than the main event match of the evening. This was longer than the Battle Royal. This was longer than everything on the show because Charlotte's got a Charlotte. And Vince needs to get off. So we need as much Charlotte as possible. And don't forget, this is also like the 4th time she's been on our TV during this episode of Monday Night Raw as well. So Nikki and Asuka win, but here's where things go awry. Charlotte doesn't know how teams work. Now, regardless whether or not you're getting along with the person you're on the team with, if don't you want to win? Right? Like, wrestlers don't want to fucking win anymore. They're walking away, getting counted out on purpose. They're just leaving matches, leaving their partners high and dry. And that's the standard MO for this Can They Coexist storyline anyway. But how foolish does it make them look when Charlotte Flair hits Rhea Ripley with the natural selection and then just stands there while her opponent pins her? It's not even like she could even pretend she was out of position or some sort of shenanigans. No. Charlotte Flair outright just stood there while her partner got pinned because she doesn't care about winning. Meanwhile, she wants to be the champion. You can't, be consistent. At least get the win as a team and then beat the shit out of her. That's what a real heel would do. Who wants to take an L just to prove a point? People don't like to win anymore. Alexa Bliss plugged the playground segment for later on tonight and promised it was going to be a real scream. And I knew I was going to be screaming, but not for the reasons that they wanted me to. Mansoor went out there and defeated Drew Gulak thanks to the advice given to him by Ali earlier in the evening, which pretty much just told him, hey, listen, Drew's not going to play by the rules, so you shouldn't either. And he reversed a cradle by Drew Gulak, to which Gulak had the tights hooked, but Mansoor was able to reverse it in a very unique way and got the win. We'll see, maybe big things to come for Mr. Mansoor, especially if they align him with Ali. We got another terrible, terrible promo segment for Orton and Riddle. Riddle me this, my friends. What is the deal, once again, with Randy's friggin' facial hair? Holy cow, he looks like Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. From The Princess Bride. So maybe that's a good look if you want to look like somebody's dad. Maybe that's the look he's going for. You know, a 1700 fucking pirate guy. I don't know. Anyway, there in the back, Matt Riddle's talking about eating at fucking Burger King and riding on his scooter and whatever. And then Randy does the whole key shtick again, throws the key away. And Matt Riddle's like, you going to be out there for my match tonight? And then Randy's like, I don't know. I'll think about it. We had a Nia Jax sighting on this night too, but thankfully she wasn't too much of a part of this show. That just came to my mind because I seen it here in my notes, but I'm jumping ahead a little bit. We went to the Kofi Kingston and Matt Riddle match, which was going to be the main event matchup of the evening. This was a good match. It went about a little over 10 minutes. A lot of really good action here from these guys. But here comes the swerve. We have seen Matt Riddle be victorious using the RKO before. This time he tried to use it, and it would be a detriment to him. Kofi Kingston would end up countering the attempt. Matt Riddle would then duck at Trouble in Paradise, only for Riddle to try to set him up for the Bro Derek. But once again, Kofi Kingston slipped out, at this time able to connect with the Trouble in Paradise for the win. There was some shenanigans on the outside during this matchup with Randy almost putting Xavier Woods through the table with Francesca in his mouth still. Was pretty impressive stuff when Randy finally came out. You know, WWE does this thing where they have to have something weird happen in order to go to commercial break, instead of just being like, the action continues, we'll be right back. And having the wrestlers go into a rest hold. Somebody has to suicide dive through a rope, or there has to be somebody's entrance happening spontaneously, and that's how Randy got involved in the first place. But despite the fact that this was a good match, we have seen it before. I don't know why we're even seeing it here tonight. There's no real reason for it. And now Matt Riddle lost in front of Randy Orton, which didn't seem to make Randy Orton too happy. It'll be interesting to see where they go from here. Here's where I seen the Nia Jax thing, so let's talk about that and get out of the way. She talked to Shayna Baszler in the back, trying to offer her help, saying that she knows Alexa Bliss. We all know about her history with Alexa, saying that she's unpredictable and she's dangerous more than she's ever seen before. Shayna's not worried about her or her little doll. She's always got to throw the doll in there, which is how you know the doll is going to be a major part of this fucking storyline. This now is the main event segment of the evening. Alexa's playground takes place in the ring. The swing set's set up, the fake grass, the whole fucking nine. Lily the doll is there. Alexa does her normal intro, the whole shit. She's talking to the doll. Baszler comes out, she interrupted. She knocks over the horse, she knocks over everything. They played canned audio crowd booing Shayna Baszler. Who is the heel in this scenario? Anyway, this whole thing divulged into madness very quickly. Shayna Baszler decided she's going to stomp the doll. She stomped Lily the doll, and WWE went all out with their really crazy camera cuts, and they had Shayna Baszler in a very low worm's eye view so that she looked like a giant coming down while she crushed the face of an inanimate object that only matters to Alexa Bliss. And this infuriated Alexa to the point where Alexa would get in the ring and actually start throwing fists. She started beating the shit out of Shayna Baszler, and Shayna Baszler run away. Former MMA champion Shayna Baszler running away from spooky, hey, look, I'm the Fiend now, Alexa Bliss. While she's doing that, pyro's going off, fire's going off on her every step. WWE got very creative here, timing it so that she would run up the ramp as the pyro's going off, boom, 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 all behind her. She goes into the back, and just when you think it's over, strap in, folks, because she's walking around the back. There's nobody around. Corey Graves is acknowledging this on the headset. He's like, where is everybody? Where's everybody that should be there in the back? It's almost as if everybody disappeared. That's what they're trying to make you guys believe. And Shayna's looking around, and she keeps hearing the doll saying shit, and she ends up cornering herself in a room where lights are flickering, and she sees the doll in the reflection in the mirror, but then she looked and the doll's not there. Ooh, spooky stuff. And then she blockades herself in a room. She put the couch in front of the door. She locked the door. She put a chair on top of the couch. And then she put another couch on top of the chair that was on top of the couch. And then she looked over at the mirror, and the fucking doll was in the mirror, but it wasn't in the room. So then Shayna Baszler kicks the mirror. The mirror broke in a bazillion pieces, and the doll's reflection was still in the mirror. And then they cut to black, and Shayna Baszler screamed, and Monday Night Raw was over, and I just thought I had a stroke. I thought my brain malfunctioned and that I imagined all of this. But as I went over my notes, turns out it actually happened. This was real. This was the main event segment of Monday Night Raw. This is what they're doing with Shayna Baszler. And God bless her little heart for selling the shit out of this. But this is fucking awful. This has been taking way too long to get to whatever the point is with Alexa Bliss. I've been tolerant up until now, but now with a segment like this, you lose my interest completely. You barely had me interested when you were pulling this kind of shit with The Fiend, and now that he's no longer existing and Alexa Bliss has sucked out his essence, not in a good way, if you know what I'm saying. But now Alexa's the new fucking Fiend, and she's doing the same shit Bray used to do, and where, I don't know, man, maybe Vince took the writing staff to see the fucking Conjuring. Or maybe they all went to go see the Spiral movie, the new Jigsaw movie from the world of Saw, starring Chris Rock. Maybe they went to see one of that and was like, oh, we're inspired now. Let's copy some of this shit. Because that's what people want to do when we're getting ready for summer and you're putting up your pool and you're flipping barbecue. You want to do Halloween stuff. Perfect time of year for all of that. Monday Night Raw tonight was a long and boring chore, as it usually is, and I hope that coming here with me made it a little bit easier on the rest of you. Thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. Raw, again, 5 poop hammers out of 5. It's just terrible, terrible, terrible television, and it ain't going to be getting any better anytime soon. If you missed anything on this channel this week, this month, this year, or over the last 5 years, you could go back and watch any of those things. I will link some of those things in the annotations up above. We are coming up on the end of year 5. We are about to celebrate when SummerSlam rolls around as we turn 6 years old. It would be great for Sledgehammer TV to be over that 3,000 subscriber mark when we do so. So let's try to make that a goal. Hit 3,000 subscribers before we hit SummerSlam, and you could make that happen right now if you're not already one of the treasured sledge heads of Sledge Nation. All you gotta do, hit that subscribe button right now. If you enjoyed anything we had to say or do here today, hit that thumbs up button so that I know you had a good time and that YouTube knows you had a good time, and will help the algorithm send it to other people so that they too as well can have a good time along with us. If you know somebody specifically that should be having a good time here with us, don't forget to share this video with that particular wrestling buddy wherever they are in the wrestling world, especially if they need a community to come and call home and help us bring poop hammers down like nobody else does on YouTube. Thank you all for your continued love and support. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is the Team Thor, the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, his tag team partner, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world, Mr. Blue, the Yeti microphone, the most important member of the team, as always, each and every one of you. That is going to do it, my friends. We are out of here, and we will see you Friday night for SmackDown, right here on your new favorite wrestling show, the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show, only on Sledgehammer TV, right here, baby, on YouTube.com. Boom.
Thanks, Vince.